It's still unsettling to be in front of the camera. I don't know how long it's gonna last until it feels natural, but here we are. Hi, my name is Kendra, and this is my watercolor video log. This is where I explore the creative process, my creative process, and I look at my decisions as an artist, and I'm sharing them out, one, as a way to encourage me to paint more often, and two, as a hope that it will be inspirational for you to find your own creative mojo and to get your brushes wet and to find some inspiration and to find some sticks outside, maybe, if you're a watercolor artist and you like the idea of dragging a stick through some watercolor. All right, so since I'm new to this, I've decided that to cut back on my I should write a script. But then I write a script and then I sound like a robot. So now I'm going to look at the script sometimes and sort of wing it, because I feel like I want to be authentic and I need to get comfortable being in front of the camera. So here we are. So my goal as a watercolor artist at this very moment is to move down the slide towards abstract. I'm very, very realistic because my background is that I am a licensed architect. So I draw very realistic things. I like to draw, and I draw very realistically just because. And actually that's where I get a lot of my flow is when I'm studying something and drawing it that way. So I want to keep some element of realistic in my paintings, but I want to move towards abstract. So that's what you'll see here. I share everything from the beginning and my inspiration to the messy middle where this painting is and where actually my other painting is, where things are uncertain and it could go either way. And I'll share at the end whether I think the painting is successful or not. That's all subjective. But what's really important is what the artist thinks and where the artist is trying to move or go towards or express in their work, right? I was watching YouTube the other day and I saw a YouTuber, he was critiquing bits of art that people had sent in for critique. And as he went along, I thought the one thing he's missing is he didn't say the artist's goal here was to do X, because that's the biggest piece in the whole thing. What is your goal? If your goal is a realistic painting and then you've made a realistic painting, then 5 stars, like you've done it. But to critique a painting without any of that background seems silly to me. When I design somebody's house, there's no somebody else who's critiquing the house. It's the owners of the house who set what they want to do with the house, how they want to live in the house, and then we design it as a custom thing for them. So there's no objective like good or bad in that realm, and I feel it's the same in art. It depends on what you want to do. So what do I want to do? This painting has been around for a couple of video logs. In fact, I'll show you some of the old ones. I'm going to show it started this way, as some chairs and as a diamond-shaped floor. And then I put in a big window, showing that. And then I got super bored with it because it was way too realistic. Like, I'm trying to be abstract, and here I'm drawing an interiors picture. So I scrubbed it down. I put it under the faucet in the sink, in the kitchen sink, and I scrubbed it with my kitchen sink scrubber, which is probably, now I have an artist scrubber that's not full of food and oils and soap, that I'll just use for when I get super frustrated with my next painting. Anyway, then it looked like this. And then I got interested in it again. And you can see it's come quite a ways since then, although I will say, on your first glance at this, you may say, wow, something really interesting is going on here. And that's because there's so much contrast. There's so much value differences. There's very, very dark darks and very, very light lights and all kinds of things in between. However, the problem I see here is there is no composition. I just started putting things in because I needed a flow session. And so I just started playing around. I scraped some gouache, some white gouache down here. I let it dry, and then, or I didn't let it dry. Then I scraped it away with a stick before I let it dry so that I could get all these great lines. And then I dabbed some other paint on, and I just started making lines, and I started sketching from real life, which is what I like to do. My latest inspiration are all of these little things that I find outside. So if you need inspiration and you're in the Northern Hemisphere where everything is sort of dead and dying, there is a lot of inspiration to be had. Uh-oh, they're all sticking together. Look at that. Wonderful shape. Rose hips. These rose hips are just about starting to shrivel up now, but I love the tops. I love how the top is curled around. And then there's some really great money plants. That's what the common name for this is, and I don't know what the common name for that is, but I thought this is really great because they've lost their seeds and they have little holes in them, and just sometimes the outline is there, so it's really interesting to look at these silvery patterns. So anyway, I go around the neighborhood collecting all this stuff, and I come home looking like a medicine woman, like carrying my rose hips and my anise seeds and all my things. But I'm doing it all for art. I'm not making tea out of this. All right, move that over here for now, except for my little favorite one here. Going forward on this, I think I'm going to just keep using it as a sheet that gives me inspiration for other projects and not worry about the composition. I may have, I noticed that this is like a finger pointing at the pointing at the window. That may get lost in the next iteration, in my next painting session. Yeah, so anyway, I actually like this quite a bit just because it has given me so much relaxation and enjoyment, even though it's not a cohesive anything. I probably will never make it to my wall, but I like it anyway. Okay, here's the other one that I've been working on for quite some time. And you can tell that the painting is ready to be done because it's pulling off of the block. So probably that's motivation to finish it. You can see again where I am starting to bring in shapes that are like winter foliage, and I want to bring in more of that over here. I've cut back on this hillside because it felt like the composition sort of just didn't feel right, so I decided to again scrape some gouache over the top of this, and now I need to go back in with a little bit of a stronger edge and perhaps some of these darker colors. This is a Payne's gray under gouache, and see if I can do something about that. And I think I'll just play around with these natural shapes against these sort of juicy colors and see where it goes. My husband wants it in his office. He wants to look at it. It's not my favorite. I feel like there's compositional problems here. I think in my next painting, I'm gonna plan the composition first before I start. I think that would be a very adult move. But anyway, I'm okay with where it is. This painting has given me a lot of joy and a lot of relaxation too. So I like it for that. Yeah. So that's my update for today. Thank you for watching this very, very brand new YouTube channel with this woman who is still uncomfortable being in front of the camera. I will try and post again next week. All right, thank you. Bye.